Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, America, California, all the states, up to Hawaii, and all over the world. Vinney Chopra here, and Beau Eckstein, my brother, right here with Vinney and Beau Show. We come live to you at the new time starting 2023. It's going to be 9 a.m. Friday, every Friday. Again, thank you for joining, and we want to thank our guests today also. Got a great show today planned for everybody. Thanks for joining. This is Vinney and Beau Show. We've been doing it for many years now, 2.5 years, I think, or something.
Yeah, no, happy New Year to everybody. You know what I was just thinking about? And this is kind of funny. I just thought about this.
All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Vinney Chopra. My partner, Beau Eckstein, might join us a little bit later on. And we are excited for this new intro, short, sweet. And as you know, we come live to you every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. Today, we got a great show for you. It's on AI, artificial intelligence. I know we've been talking about artificial intelligence for so many weeks and months, and we talked about GPT or whatever, and I've been using it for last 5 months. It's mind-boggling what it can do for us, and now Microsoft is putting $10 billion. Of course, Elon Musk put a lot of money in it. If you are not into ChatGPT, you got to really be in it. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm doing so much blogging and all these different things and, recording so much good stuff. It's just mind-boggling what that can do for us. Today's guest actually is a little bit different. It's taking the artificial intelligence in accounting software. And the exciting part is it's called Scarlett Books. As a matter of fact, I would love to share with you. And then the good part is that we are not selling any security. I want to disclaim that right away. We are just sharing the information. If you'd like to find out more about it, you could go to Scarlett Books. We'll put the ticker symbol at the bottom. Our guest name is Sky Anderson. Sky Anderson. Hi, Sky. How are you, brother?
Mr. Vinney Chopra, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing amazing. I'm like on a high every day, That's the only way to live. The only way to live is to get excited about the moment. As a matter of fact, today I'm in my office. So I'd love to talk about in our show a little bit about this little hourglass. What this hourglass is, this is the future. This sand or the time up on the top is the future of our life. This is the present, right in the neck. This is the present, and the future turns through the present into the past. And lots of us, myself included, we spend so much time in the past that we forget about the present and forget about the future. We need to really learn from the past. So I've been really doing some good teachings all across the world, actually, and on the platforms. We got to really get our mindset right and make sure that we are presenting our life moment by moment is going just like this little neck. And we need to make it the best of the best of the best every day. So I hope you will really, really like that. And please look in my YouTube channel and podcast and all. I'll be discussing quite a lot about it more. The key thing is in the artificial intelligence, a lot of people are set in their ways. And I always believe cutting edge is the way to go. Because if cutting edge, new artificial intelligence, metaverse, all these things, they can bring so much solace to us, give us more time and money. Wow, that's what I believe in. I believe in adapting to the systems that can really streamline things. And what really got me excited about Scarlett Books, I want to tell a little bit about, Sky, is the software that does things and it remembers things, it balances books, it writes meeting notes. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. And I let Sky kind of share that with us. He's the vice president for Scarlett Books. I want to share the screen, if I may. Let's see, I'm sharing the screen right now, and I'll just go here. Oh, okay. Entire screen. It says, or Brave tab. Let's just do that. And there it is, the Scarlet Books. So maybe everybody could see that now. So this is the one, HTTPS, Scarlet Books. Again, this is informational purposes only that I'm going live. I do want to put a disclaimer. We are not selling any securities or any investment or anything. We are not swaying anybody. Please look into it. This is HTTPS scarlettbooks.com. And I want to disclaim also, my attorney said that I'm a founding member of father, in the initial round with this special software. So saying that, I'll come back over here and unshare. And then Sky, who's the vice president of this software with Michael Georgie and Craig Shaw and my other brothers and sisters, we are just going to really, amazing. And a QuickBook is there. There is another one. I think Sky will mention it. But the thing is, what this software is doing is just totally out of this world. So let's go for it. Thank you so much. Go ahead and share the screen, Brother Sky, and tell us a little bit more about you, please.
Yeah. So, I got through high school. That was one heck of a thing. I actually left my home when I was 16 years old, lived out of my car,
Wow.
had a full-time job, was able to graduate. I didn't exactly have too much of a direction in my young age, so I opted to go into the military, and thank goodness that I did. It taught me direction. It taught me, resilience.
Yeah. Oh, I know we had a little bit difficulty this morning before we joined. Hopefully, Sky will be able to start giving us his knowledge and kind of share what this software can do for us. Go ahead, Sky. Yeah.
Absolutely. So when Michael and I said,
Oh my gosh, I think we need to pay for better internet connection, brother. That's one thing for
goodness,
sure.
what a
Yeah.
morning. We'll just have to adapt and overcome and persevere.
Yes.
But ultimately, we wanted to create a software that was easy to use for your everyday human being and make the cost point appropriate. If you are in real estate investing and you have multiple LLCs and you are using a QuickBooks or a FreshBooks, BenchScore, Wave, you have to pay for multiple accounts. And your bottom line, there's a result in there. So if we're only able to clear maybe a couple $100 and now, 40, 50% is going to our accounting software, that seems a little silly to us. So we wanted to create a software that would maintain multiple organizations from one account, which has a vast opportunity to adjust that bottom line and create a little bit more monies in the account.
Oh, sure. I know. I think I mentioned it when I was introduced with this about a year back or so. Oh my gosh, we had 96 LLCs, and my accounting department was taking care of all these books and accounts and all. And we had to pay special money for, generating all those into the QuickBooks and all that. But no, please go ahead and share. I hope you will be able to share your screen. Or if it doesn't, then you have to explain everything, brother.
That's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up Scarlet Books. And we will do our best.
Yes.
To work through this situation.
Yeah. Okay. There we are. Yes,
okay.
sir.
And we can see my screen okay, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So when I mentioned that we built this thing to be, we want to build it so the everyday their own bookkeeper. They'd be able to categorize their own accounts. Scarlet is also going to be learning. So when we created this software, we created it to where the next button is the sole part of it. So with this system, your everyday person, procedures and how to do certain, accounting situations. So with this next button, Scarlet is able to walk the end user or the client through every actionable item, present it in a way that's easy to be digested. So with that, when you first start up our system, Scarlett's going to come over the top and she's going to play an 8-minute tutorial. That tutorial is going to be a nice little lay of the land. Over to our left and so on. It's very quick, very direct. We are built for speed and accuracy. There's no reason why our end users and our clients should be wasting time. having to and teach the client. So you're able to maintain multiple different organizations from one account. The one thing that you're also system is you're not going to find to our top right, and that is on purpose. When it comes to our competitors, you will always find that 1-800 number. The reason why the 1-800 number is there is just frustrating enough to eventually get your information.
I apologize. I really apologize, everybody watching. I think our internet connection is kind of bad over there in Reno, Nevada, or Sparks, I think, where you are. Sky, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And I apologize. That's just so frustrating when technology isn't working. That's the internet, anyways.
It is.
So with that, we built the software to be easy to use. Now, when you go to input all of your different organizations, you're simply going to click on Add Company. When you go to Add Company, now just like a cooking show, I have many companies already put in. If I want to add additional, I just hit the add mark. I hit submit, and I can add as that I have to this software. And each so our system, you can have as many seats as you like, and you never have to pay an additional fees for those additional seats.
For the additional LLCs and everything, Sky, right? So we could put thousands LLCs right in the same software and pay only one fee, from what I understood, I think. Yeah.
So we also wanted to make sure that this was appropriately, or at least what we felt was appropriate. So with our system, if you're a sole proprietor, you're looking at $39 a month. If you are a single LLC or single corporation, you're at $59 a month. And if you have 2 or greater, it does not matter. You're at $95 period. These and/or corporations or both, it is still $95 a month. And you're able to utilize the entire system.
Got it. Got it. So what does it do with... Please go ahead.
The entire system is predicated off of this next button. So once you're done adding your different organizations, you're going to use the next button. It's going to take you over to connect your bank account. Bank account, credit card. Now we also encourage our to also add in not accounts, but their personal bank accounts as well. And I'm going to get into the reasons why as I move forward. But simply enough, you click on whichever action that you like, then you're going to be brought to a plaid screen. You identify your banking institution, put in your credentials, and now your system is now loaded with your different bank accounts. And it's all company specific. Now, what you're also going to notice is that we have this little video. Now, as you jump from jumps as well, that purpose. So with our system, you're going to find that has its own corresponding video. So if you ever get lost, confused, frustrated with we don't know how to use it, please click the video. Scarlett will come over and show you a 1.5-minute video that pertains to the screen that you're on. So you're able to retrieve the information that you require and move on with your day. As small business owners, we do not have the time to be messing around with our software when we should be engaged in MMAs. That is a term that we use in-house. MMAs does not mean running around and boxing people. It actually stands for money-making activities.
Yes.
And unless you're a bookkeeper or an accountant, doing your bookkeeping and accounting is not an MMA. So we need to find a solution to where you can put your bookkeeping and or accounting on an autopilot, quote unquote, to where you can engage in more MMAs in your own industry, your own field. Once again, we use that next button that's going to take you over to your budgets. And there's all kinds of different ways to use the system, but we always encourage use that next button until you learn the flow. Now I'm going to backtrack just a little bit over to our chart of accounts because there is something that I want to highlight. When it comes to the utilization of our software, we built this thing once again to be easy to use for the everyday garden variety individual. So when it comes to chart of accounts, if you say that to your everyday person, they may not understand what exactly you're talking about. If you ask for assets and liabilities, we might have a general understanding, but we may not understand the verbiage. So what we did was we took all of those different actionable items, whether it be assets or liabilities, and we put them in a nice little library with some corresponding definitions. So whether you know the verbiage or not, you can effectively jump on our platform and you can go through the list and you can identify what you and or your company owns. Once you find what you have, click on the action, fill in the form, and Scarlett takes over and does the rest. And that's going to go the same for your liabilities. Once again, we put it in a situation to where it's easy to digest. We want people to be successful. So why would we make our systems difficult to use and or frustrating? There's money to be made. Quit wasting your time with subpar systems. Use that next button that's going to take me past budgets. Now, the nice thing about our budget section, now you can go in and manually put in, I have a cell phone bill on this day of the month, and my insurance comes out on this day of the month, and so on and so on. You can very much easily identify those items, but we don't exactly encourage it. Scarlett, and the way that she is coded, already recognizes transactions that happen on specific times of the month. So on month 1, you find your insurance and your cell phone. They come out on their corresponding days. You categorize those accounts. On month 2, Scarlett's going to see the same exact transaction, and she's going to ask you, would you like me to add this to your budgets and bills section? And you say, yes, I would like you to do that. And Scarlett does all of the work for you. Once again, speed and accuracy.
Excellent. This is so great. That's where the artificial intelligence, the learning, we call it
learning starts
learning.
To kick in.
Scarlett,
I do like to tease Scarlett, and I like to say that she's like a teenager because she does need to learn. But unlike a teenager, she remembers the first time that you tell her.
I like it. I like it.
So you'll notice this whole time we've been on our start block, correct? So as I use this next button, it's going to take me down to my accounting. I can effectively use this next button through every action in our software, and it's going to take me down a pre-described path, making it easy for the everyday person to jump in, use the system, and move on with their day. Now, we do have the opportunity to maintain multiple companies, which is a wonderful action. Now, if I want to identify one of my organizations because I have transactions that need to be categorized, I'm going to go to my company section. I'm going to choose the company in question, and I'm going to choose unreviewed, my review transactions, all or my second review. And some of these I will get into, some of which I will not. But I'm going to choose my unreviewed. Now the system is going to reconfigure for the company in question. Oh, let me go ahead and choose a different organization. Let's do that right there. Okie dokie. So now that we have our transactions, we're looking through. Now what you're going to find is more often than not, Scarlett's going to be able to identify the contact, the banking info, which bank account the transaction came from, and your category. Now we're able to self-categorize, depending on industry, somewhere between 85 to about 95% of all of your transactions. So even if you don't know exactly what's going on, Scarlett has a very good idea of what is. So for instance, Scarlett identified AT&T. She already put in the contact, the bank info, and she's already categorized it as telephone. So now when I go to hit approve, since the information is all present, once I hit approve, Scarlett is going to go through every single transaction. That could be 10, it could be 10,000. It doesn't matter. As soon as she goes through every single transaction, Scarlett's going to identify all transactions that are exactly the same. So you can move through blocks of information with speed that is just unseen in the accounting world. Which
now I wanted to say something, Sky. I know Anna Martinez, my VP of Finance, we were going over in QuickBooks or without AI, artificial intelligence, you have to make the credits and the debits. And there you have to open up this account, that account, all that. But Scarlett does it in the background, what I understand, right?
This is very, very true. And thank you for bringing that up. Once again, speed and accuracy and ease of use. When you start talking about double entry accounting and debits and credits, most of the time you lose people, which is unfortunate. But it's not anybody's fault. We just were not given the opportunity to learn how to do proper accounting. So with our system, when you categorize a transaction, Scarlett will do a lot of the back end work for you. She will also do blocks of information at a time. Now, what if we do need to teach Scarlett something? It's such an insanely easy situation. So I'm going to scroll through and I'm going to find a transaction that might be missing a little bit of info. And let me see if I can find one that has been taken care of. Let me go ahead and use this GoDaddy as a nice deal to show off. Excuse me, I just ran out of the word that I'm looking for. But at any rate, I'm going to click anywhere on the line item. Now, from up here, I can see in the bank info that it's a check card. Here's the information. It's GoDaddy, and so on and so on. Now, if I were wanting to teach Scarlett, I would simply come down to my company contact. I would either create an add new, or I would find GoDaddy inside of the list. Now, once this information is put in, the category has been created. I can come down and I can hit update. Now, Scarlett's going to remember this for forever. So every time this transaction comes through and Scarlett goes through and sees GoDaddy.com, she knows exactly how to categorize it and moves on. And it's very, very easy.
Again, everybody watching us and who will be watching us later on, again, this is Scarlettbooks.com, actually an AI software for bookkeeping, accounting, for saving time and money and everything. There are a lot of softwares, but I was so enthused by this software about a year back or so, and now it's come to the next level. And now this will be promoted all across USA and everything. If you would like to find out about it, please go down to https://scarlettbooks.com and look at yourself, the video and everything. Again, we are not selling any securities or any investment or anything, but we just wanted to bring something special because our show is about raising, your business to the next, taking your business to the next level, how to cut down expenses, how to, bring cutting edge softwares and platforms to you. So that's where in 2023, Beau and I have been discussing how can we teach people so many great things to become better entrepreneurs. And that's what we have spent the whole month of January in personal branding and all that. And now in February, we are giving you all different ways how to use these great tools which are out there and which are cheap and nice. Yeah, go ahead, Sky. Yeah, bro.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you're an individual that has multiple organizations, you may have been coached on creating a multi-tiered entity strategy. Maybe we have a management organization in a tax-friendly state like Nevada and or Wyoming. Maybe we have different LLCs scattered around the states. Maybe we're in real estate investing. So another nice part of our system is we offer company-to-company relationships, which is completely unheard of in the accounting world, especially with the software part of it. So I'm going to paint a very, very quick picture. I have a management organization. The management organization lives in the state of Nevada. I also have a lower level, quote unquote, LLC that lives in maybe Ohio. Now, this LLC that resides in Ohio also has a piece of real estate inside of it.
Yeah.
And let's say that piece of real estate needs a new roof. Now, if I want to replace that roof, either I'm going to my personal funds to make sure the job is done, or I need to find $30,000 from somewhere. And I'm not going to keep $30,000 of liquid cash inside of a piece of inside of an LLC that also houses people. Now, people are absolutely wonderful. I love people. People are great and awesome. But sometimes every once in a while, when things don't work out, people can turn pretty awful and they will go after you pretty aggressively. Yeah. So I may keep $30,000 of monies inside of a management company that can be borrowed. Now, if I'm going to do that transaction with my competitors, QuickBooks, BenchScore, Wave, FreshBooks, whatever it might be, I need to open up one set of books. I need to create the asset. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to create my journal entries, all of this good fun stuff. I need to shut down those books. I need to open up the second set of books. I need to create my liability and all of the other corresponding information. That one singular transaction could take anywhere between 20 and 40 minutes. It's just a cumbersome action. Now, with our software, since we do offer company-to-company relations, I'm going to show you how easy it is to do the same exact transaction that would take anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes with my competitors. So I'm going to identify the company in question. It's my management company. And the capture, it's going to be money out. Which bank account is it coming out? Let's say it's coming out of that one. What date is this transaction going to happen? Well, I'm going to move the funds today. And how much is it going to cost me? It's going to cost me $30,000 roughly for this new roof. Now with inflation, it might have gone up another 13%,
Yeah.
but let's say 30%, $30,000. Now you're going to come to this for related company. Now, if it's a no, it's no. It just means that your management company is paying $30,000 for something. Maybe it's a new website. I don't know. But what if it's yes? As soon as you hit yes, Scarlett's going to ask you, should this be a shared transaction? Company A is paying for part of the bill. Company B is paying for part of the bill. But for today's scenario, it's not. It's not going to be a shared transaction. Then we want to come down to our related company. Who's the company that's going to be receiving the funds? I'm going to say it's my contact, LLC. Now, what you're going to see is that Scarlett automatically creates the liability, automatically creates the asset. I'm going to come down, I'm going to go to my category, and I'm going to go, this is for repairs and maintenance.
Yeah.
And then I can put in my tracking tags, or my asset tracking. I can put in my related tags. I can put in additional information if it came from a memo, a check, and so on. And as soon as I hit submit, that 20 to 40 minute long process, I am
Yeah.
already done.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. 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 And there are so many other different things. I'm sure, Sky, if you go through the software, how much great time saving, money saving, and time saving. Those are the two most important parts of our, business to, increase the profitability of the business. No, thank you so much. So overall, how can people, if you could kind of share, we are towards the end of our show, like what would you say? What will this do for a regular entrepreneur? It's designed for small and big. Kind of give us some idea. Yeah.
It's more dedicated to the small business owner, but small is a relative term. You could be a 3 or 4 man team or woman team or a combination of which,
Yeah.
and still bring in many, many millions of dollars a year. It's more predicated off of how many employees you have, because after you grow to a certain point, you may be outsourcing your accounting to another, company and things of that nature. So things to keep in mind as a small business owner, we want to build this thing to be easy. We want to use a software that's easy. There's no reason why you should have to leave your accounting software, go to YouTube and watch 12 hours of how-to videos.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. And that's 12 hours worth of time that we could have been hammering phones or cutting a deal. So we lost out on money. And more often than not, at the end of that 12-hour video, you probably still don't know how to use the software. So use something that's easy to use. Go out and make money. Easy peasy stuff right there. Additionally, when it comes to our software, and there's two things that I want to hit on very quickly.
Sure.
We've all heard of the terms commingling.
Mm-hmm.
I've commingled my accounts. I've used personal monies for business activities.
Yeah.
When it comes to our software and why we encourage our end users to also input their personal banking accounts is because from time to time we have to play the role of the bank. Maybe the cash flow isn't there for the company to pay the bill. So we need to go into our personal finances. We've effectively commingled. Now, generally, you have to pay somebody to go back and clean it all up. Not with my software. With my software, you can identify the transaction that came out of your personal account, and you can tell Scarlett, you know what? Yes, it did come out of my personal, but it was meant for company A or B or whomever. And Scarlett will do all of the work to clean up that transaction. Depending on dollar amount, she may put it in as a loan. So when you go to retrieve those monies back, you're retrieving back monies from a loan being paid, which is non-taxable. Or if it's a smaller amount, maybe it's just a quick reimbursable. But regardless, commingling with my system, our system, it no longer exists.
That's amazing. That's wonderful. I know this is every entrepreneur's nightmare. Mine too.
Yes,
when we are putting
absolutely.
Visa, business cards, all these, we just want to pay the invoice quickly, and then my accounting department says, Vinny, okay, come on, let's go over so that we are able to get you reimbursed. There's thousands of dollars that I've lost because I never really could, find the place where I spent it and which LLC I should bill.
Exactly correct. Exactly correct. Now, the other part that I want to hit on, and I know that we're running out of time.
No, that's okay. Yeah.
As small business owners, LLC owners, corporation, or individuals that control LLCs and or corporations, I want to talk about documentation, corporate compliance.
Yeah.
We have all heard the terms, well, I don't want them to pierce the corporate veil. What is a corporate veil? The corporate veil is the documentation that sits between you and your entity. Now, many of us have seen the old movie Shawshank Redemption. Great flick, amazing. Now, the kicker to that movie was at the very, very end, Tim Robbins, he creates a person on paper, and that's how he's able to basically get away. But the point of that is that when you create an entity, whether it be corporation or LLC, you have effectively created a person on paper.
Yeah.
And we need to treat our companies as such. That's where the documentation comes into play. Minutes and resolutions. Minutes are the thought process. Resolutions are the actions thereof. Now, if I'm treating my organization as a separate individual than myself, that means that I need to ask the company's permission to do certain activities on its behalf. Our company cannot jump in the car and go down to the bank and open up a bank account. We need a human to go do these things. But we need the authorization from the company itself to engage in these actions. That is what maintaining your corporate veil means. Documentation. Documentation, documentation, documentation. Now, if you go to, and let me take a little step back. When it comes to documentation, corporations, it's actually required by law. Minutes and resolutions are required by law. Let me state that once again. Case law, if we're familiar with it, now an LLC is recognized as a corporation as well and falls under the same parameters. Okay. Now, if you were to go to Google and you ask, do I need minutes and resolutions as an LLC? Google most likely will tell you, no, you don't. You just need to maintain your annual meeting of minutes. I'm sorry to tell you that is incorrect. And a savvy attorney will go right through it. What happens at that moment should you be caught in a lawsuit or an audit? If it's an audit, you better believe Uncle Sam's coming for theirs. They're going to get it. If it's a lawsuit, your real estate investing, one of your tenants trips and falls, hurts themselves, and they go to lawsuit. They're going to sue somebody. Now, hopefully, they sue the company. But what happens if there's no documentation between you and your organization? A good lawyer will then approach the bench and say, well, it looks as though Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so hasn't been maintaining their corporate documentation, which basically means they're running their company as an alter ego of themselves. So I move to basically move the company out of the way like it never existed. You're not to treat it like a company, neither am I, which now your personal life is up for grabs. Back to my comment of people are amazing until they're not. If that person is trying to sue you, they're not going to care where the money comes from, whether that be your child's college, X, Y, and Z. They're not going to care. And that's an unfortunate situation to be caught in. Use our system. You can maintain your annual LLC meeting, your annual corporation meeting of minutes. You can take care of it right here. And then you can choose from a whole library of resolutions.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry. I'm sharing now. Please go ahead. Yeah. Also, we have a couple of questions from Dinesh Patel. Thank you, Dinesh, for joining. I apologize. I should have asked that. Do you have an accountant's dashboard so that we can view all clients in one window?
So, such a wonderful question.
Very good question, please. And then we'll go into that also. So please answer this question. I know Dinesh ji must be waiting for that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me navigate back up to our dashboard. And we actually have 4 dashboards to choose from. And I'll go through those at some point, maybe in a later show. But at any rate, if I am the professional and I have many clients that I am overseeing, right? And or even employees, if I am dishing out work to lower level employees, quote unquote, all I have to do is hit this toggle right here. It's going to bring up my company view and who's the primary owner. And I'm going to choose, you know what? It's time to work with this individual today. Once I go there, I'm going to choose, okay, we've got one organization. I'm going to hit submit. Now you're going to notice it still says contact here, but I am looking at somebody else's books. This other individual has given me the opportunity to view and manipulate their bookkeeping.
Excellent. And also, Dinesh ji was asking, what is the difference between real estate platform and the regular bookkeeping platform? I'm glad. I know we are doing a lot of good things to bring, that's our number one, the real estate. Please go ahead. Yeah.
So if I'm understanding the question correctly, the real estate portion of our software, now we do have a dashboard dedicated to your real estate. Inside of here, and excuse me, this particular organization may not have any real estate populated, but at any rate, inside of your real estate performance, you're going to be able to identify all of your different pieces of real estate, the history of that real estate, the detail of the history, and so on. And you also have the capability of putting in notes. I needed to replace a sink on this date inside of this door, whatever the scenario might be.
Excellent. No, thank you so much. Thank you for great questions. Please go back on the, I think the reporting, right? The Scarlett records all the meeting minutes. I know you
Yes,
were on
sir.
that screen. Yeah, yeah. Then we'll wrap it up, you know? Sure.
Absolutely. Well, and there's something that I would also bring to your listeners and viewers' attention when it comes to our documentation section. Now, yes, please maintain your corporate minutes and resolutions. I cannot stress that enough. It is the cheapest insurance on the face of the planet.
Yeah.
But past that, there are always secondary activities that need to be maintained after which. So I'm going to scroll on down and I'm going to find, let's see here, purchasing real estate. I'm going to go ahead and click in here and I'm going to create resolution real time.
Mhm.
So what's the company in question? It's the contact company. What's the address?
Mhm.
There we go. Who's the seller's name? Let's just pretend Adobe's a real human being. What's the purchase price? You know, it was $125,000. Oh, excuse me, in text format. And we get the gist of it there. And we're going to go 100,000 over here. One more zero. When's the effective date? The effective date means when does this resolution take place? Who's the signing secretary? Let's pretend that Adobe's a real person once again. And I'm going to hit submit. Now, two things are going to happen. I can go into my document vault
Mhm.
and I can find purchasing real estate. I can hit print
Mhm.
and Scarlett creates the document for me with all of the appropriate verbiage. There's number one. There's my resolution stating that the action happened. Now, what also happens is I can come to my guidance tasks and I can search through and I can go, okay, well, I purchased a piece of real estate. What else do I have to do? Well, I need to print, sign, and place that document inside of my corporate minute book. I need to add the acquisition documents to the minute book. I need to add the assets to the company books, add the amount of the monthly budget, complete the titling process, obtain other required insurances, and add additional insurance documents to the minute book. Once these are all satisfied, now I know the transaction of the purchase of that piece of property is now complete. I can turn right around and I can go out and I can do it again. And each resolution is going to come with its own set of additional tasks.
Wow.
So not only are you running your books effectively, quickly, accurately, you're also being given direction on how to run your company cleaner and more appropriately.
Mhm.
So if there's ever a discrepancy, whether it be audit or lawsuit, because that's what we're battling, whomever wants to quote unquote come after you, your books, your company is going to be so set up, so clean that they are not going to be able to mess with you. And worst case scenario, they'll take an insurance payout, or they're just going to walk away defeated because you took them to church that day.
That is so great. Thank you, Sky. Thank you so much. Everybody who joined us also on 14 different streaming live channels today. We really appreciate you. I know Restream doesn't allow me to go interact with some channels. If you're asking me, I apologize. We will be making a podcast out of this one, Vinney and Beau show. We come live to you. My brother Beau is not here today. He had to take his, pet to the doctor. But, Sky, thank you for your time. And it's such a pleasure to know you. And I can't wait. I think this is going to startle people how at cheap price they could do all these things that you shared in this video. If you're catching us later on, please go back and view the whole video. You will learn a lot. How can people reach you, Sky?
Absolutely. So if you would like to reach out via email, you can find me at sky at scarlettbooks.com.
Okay.
Additionally, and I probably shouldn't do this, but I think I trust you, Vinney, and I think I trust your listeners. If you would like to reach out via text or even phone call, you can find me at 775-335-7009. If you could please, if it's a phone call, I may not answer, only because you might be trying to sell me additional insurance or extend my vehicle warranty. But if you shoot me a text message saying, hey, I listened or saw you on Vinney Chopra's amazing show, I will be in contact with you so insanely fast.
Very.
But apart from that, Vinney, what an honor, what a privilege to be associated with you, to have you be a part of our organization. You are just an infectious human being with everything that you bring to the table, your generosity, how insanely kind you are. Such a rare human being you are in such an ugly day and age that we live in today.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sky, for your time and efforts. And let's go big. Scarlet Book.
Let's do it to it.
Meet you next Friday, 9 a.m. Please put notifications on. We'll see you with a great guest next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Happy to be on your show finally.
I'm a long-time fan and I watch all your guys' content.
It's awesome. We're very invested in our community.
It's wonderful to be here.
This is Vinney Chopra and also my good buddy, Beau. And we are so happy.
It's amazing what's going to happen. So, we amped up to do the show, and we got a lot of hype about the guest today, so I'm excited.
I know.
So excited
To come live to you all. Live 9:30 every Friday. How to take your business to the next level.